So this will be a full guide on how to block porn effectively. Therefore, I made a division into levels. Easy one, mid one, hard one. And I will begin by talking a little bit about the easy version, about the easy methods that you get first introduced to when you're getting into this kind of philosophy of rejection and removing temptation and blocking temptation. And therefore, a lot of YouTubers, a lot of influencers, they recommend you some books. Most popular ones, easy peasy way to quit porn, and the other one is Your Brain on Porn. These are the most popular ones, and I think they are really helpful for the moral, for the psychological, for the scientific way of understanding what is happening to your brain and what is happening when you still consume it. But if you're a person who is already pretty convinced of this kind of topic, they will just tell you a little bit about the confirmation. It's a kind of pleasure to hear that all of your thoughts have a kind of relation into you, and hear the same opinion from other people, famous people maybe. So it's really impractical. So I went forward and heard from another YouTuber, which is a scientific YouTuber who is usually doing some interviews with other scientists, a lot about longevity and health, but also about the brain health. And a lot of brain health podcasts are related to porn, because this kind of topic is related to each other. And he was recommending this add-on / software Freedom. And Freedom is a software you can install onto your browser which blocks certain websites. You can also have a lot of filter lists which enable you to block, for example, news or YouTube or Twitter, for example, but also porn. So they have a pre-configured porn block list, which you can just select and then put in a 24-hour sessions, which will block porn for 24 hours, and then has a locked mode, which you have to buy, which is a big minus, which have you spent a lot of money, so that it will unable to disconnect you from this kind of filter list, so unable to deinstall this add-on or this software. So of course the software is more safer, because the software will actually protect you from deinstalling the software. So this was pretty helpful, but you can surround it pretty easily. And if you once activated the 24-hour blocklist one and the 24-hour sessions with the locked mode, you actually are pretty locked. So if you, for example, accidentally put in a wrong website in, which you need for daily life, this can be a little bit frustrating. So we go on to the third one, to the hard mode, which is actually the one that I'm using and the one I can recommend you. Is because it's really broad, so it covers up almost everything, and it's free. It's for your phone too. I mean, Freedom is also for your phone, but you can surround it pretty easily, more easily than the firewall. So the firewall, what is a firewall? What is a firewall? I didn't know what a firewall is. It's pretty easy. It's not an app, it's not a software, it's a file on your browser that you can put in a certain website and reconnect it to a 0.0.0 domain, which is a domain that just leads to nowhere. It's a dead end. So if you try to get to this domain, to this specific domain, you locally, without a VPN, no software, you locally connecting this website to a dead end. And you're unable to connect anymore to this website because it cannot ping the IP address of the provider. And therefore, some people that already have thought this pretty much through have built a bot, for example, that finds new porn addresses and made a list of 10,000s of entries about porn domains. And yeah, there are more than 10,000 domains. Of course, that's pretty crazy, but there are so many, and they cover up everything, and they also provide a way to in an interval to update those, so that you are always on current, that you have the current software. And the only things that will surround this kind of file, surround this kind of block list, surround this kind of porn blocking level are Tor browser, because it does not connect you locally to your host file, to your file, because it's with a peer-to-peer, so it connected to other people's browsers, other people's devices, and virtual machines, which of course are a complete new machine without this pre-configured firewall. But it's pretty close to be the best one that I have ever found, and I will quickly show you how to install it. And you think, oh, maybe this sounds really complicated, but actually it's really, really easy. So you have like 5 steps or 4 steps, and you just copy and paste it. That's everything. And therefore, I will show you how to do it. So you just open up your browser, your favorite browser. For me, it's Firefox. And you go to GitHub. You just type in github.com/myname/riceball. And you will find a lot of different files, and then you will search for the host file. And then you press on the host file, and then gives you the opportunity to view the raw file into your browser. And you will do this. Just view the raw file, and you have every domain. This is all. It has about 13,000 entries, so it's pretty long. And here is the most important thing. You have the guides. Here you have for Linux, for your Android phone, and for Windows. It's not working for Apple because Apple is not configurable in their file systems. They do not let access normal people their file system. So you could possibly do a different blocking system, which I would show in another video. And now it's really simple. The process of Windows and Linux is the complete same. In both, you just copy all the domains and put them into the file that is listed here. For Windows, it's this it's this directory, and in Linux, it's this directory. So all we do is just sudo nvim. Why sudo? Because it's a host. It's a file in the root directory, and you put in nano nvim, your favorite text file editor, and put in hosts. For me, I already have a host file, so I will make up another file, a new file, which is empty currently, and I just copy everything into this file. And I wrote 136,647. Yeah, it's actually a little bit more files into this domains into this file, and I would just save it. And I already did this, so I will show you what this did. The change that this is what happened when you do this. You're now unable to connect to this specific domains that you have redirected. Of course, you don't know everything, every domain that isn't blocked now, but I can tell you they are ubiquitous. There are a lot. They almost cover every domain that is out there. So this is the process. It's super easy. The only way you can surround it is by just deleting the file or making everything disappear, like deleting all the entries. But therefore you can save your file with a password from another person. For example, your friend can make up a password for the file, so you cannot access the file anymore. So the only way you can change this file and get on these websites again is by installing your complete system again. So a fresh installation of the whole system, which is a lot of effort. And there's really the key of this porn blocking system that I came up with, because as you can see, the amount of effort you have to put in to access those files and to access this temptation is getting more and more. So you want to put in a lot of effort to access those files again, because then you're getting conscious about what you're doing right now and what you should do and what you're not doing. And yeah, for me, it has done a lot of improvement in my life. I think it gives you a lot of energy back. It saves you a lot of energy that otherwise would be sucked out of your body. And it helps you by just staying in a pretty positive mental state. Always push through pain.